Hi Engineering Janta, I am Vaibhav Shukla, and today for TCS specifically we'll be understanding how to build a resume using ChatGPT. A lot of students are facing time crunch because a lot of them haven't built good resumes, and a lot of them are facing this challenge that they need to build a very good resume for themselves to present in front of recruiter. Alongside that, many of the students are expecting that when they will enter the interview, the recruiter might tell them that go ahead, send me your updated resume or your updated CV. Alongside that, this video will also help you to prepare your resume for other companies as well. So keenly look what I am doing, because you'll have a fair share of idea that which tools to use, how exactly to leverage out ChatGPT for your purposes. Fine. ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं है, बहुत आसान काम है, बट ध्यान से सीखना. एंड दिस इज़ नॉट अ प्रमोशन फॉर एनी टूल आई एम यूजिंग. ये कोई प्रमोशन नहीं है. इट इज़ जस्ट दैट आई लाइक दोज टूल्स. आई हैव बिल्ट something out of those tools. I have built my resumes using those particular websites. तो I am suggesting you that. ठीक है, इसमें कोई promotion नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है. As simple as that. Fine. So first of all, I'll tell you that flowcv.com is the site you should go to, and simply click on get started. And for example, I'm having one resume template here. Fine. So I've used this template, but how can you select this template? So simply let's see if I can build another resume, if it gives me that luxury. Let's see. So select the most basic kind of resume. Don't go for very flashy resumes like this. This pink splash is not a good resume. I would never recommend you this layout. So select a very basic layout. For example, this particular Harvard resume to classic sans serif. So right now I can make just one resume. So here I have that particular resume. So I am using the same template. Fine. So you can use the same template, and this is very easy to build using this. Fine. So the first thing you usually have here is your column. Fine. And for example, my team gave me a beautiful name for this particular candidate, Rahul Modi, and this is completely fictional again. So do not confuse it with any of the current people whom you might relate to. ठीक है, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, तो यहाँ पर आप अपना नेम डाल सकते हो. यू कैन ऐड योर नेम हेयर, and then you can add a job title if you're working. So now I am building this video thinking that this is for a fresher. So if you're somebody who's working as a software developer or something, you can go ahead, add that out, but this is completely optional. I would not recommend using job title here, because further you will be adding your professional experience, so it doesn't make any sense. Then you add your email here and then phone. Fine. Alongside that, if you want to add address, you can, and mostly people add, sometimes people don't. I personally don't. I feel that address isn't needed that much. Email and phone number are primary requirements. Alongside that, give your LinkedIn, GitHub, and if you write any Medium blogs, then Medium profile link. You can add the links here. Fine. Here link URL can be pasted. So you add the link URL and then add it out. Fine. As simple as that. Then what you can do is you go ahead, you add to this basic profile section. Fine. Now this profile can be simply added like this. Fine. But how do you add this now using ChatGPT? Now most of the freshers are not aware exactly how to write their profile. Fine. So what you can do is you simply go to ChatGPT. Fine. Open the ChatGPT, and first prompt that you're going to write is, you are my resume builder. Fine. So this is the first thing. So the memory gets updated, and it will tell you a few things that it needs from your side, but you need not add something specifically. Alongside that, second prompt should be, I want to build ATS friendly resume, and I want your help for the same. Kindly update your memory. So this is another prompt that you're going to write. So then memory updation would happen. If you can see here, memory updated. Fine. And now it is clearly giving you that ATS friendly resume can be built using this. Fine. So let's go ahead and let's see what we want to write exactly here. Fine. So we want to write something in the profile section. Now you're somebody who is from full stack development domain. Fine. Now what you can write is, you go ahead, I am Rahul Modi. I want you to write profile summary section for me. I am a fresher, but I have done an internship at ABC Inc. Fine, whatever company it may be, and I have a good skill set in the domain of backend development. Fine. So like this, for somebody who's more into full stack development, I'm writing this profile summary for that person. If you're somebody who is in AI or ML, then you can simply switch that out and change it to AI and ML. Fine. So do this in a brief, crisp and ATS friendly manner. Fine. So you simply write a prompt like this and you'll have a proper profile summary written for you in a while. So it's right now working, and here is the profile summary. Fine. So if you want to add this ABC Inc. internship, great to add it, but I personally in profile summary would never add such things. I'd simply add aspiring backend developer with hands-on experience in full stack development. Here I'll change it to full stack development, skilled in designing, developing and optimizing server-side applications with a strong foundation in databases, APIs and performance-driven architecture, passionate about building scalable and efficient backend solutions. So this is the profile summary that ChatGPT has given me. I'll simply paste it here. So let's see, and here it is. Fine. So I've pasted it, but here I'll experience in software development, or if you want to write full stack development you can write, but right now this is the profile summary, and if you see, ChatGPT has done your job very easy, very good crafted profile. Fine. Now once it is done, I would also suggest you one thing. You write humanize it. Fine. So when you humanize it, it is less of an AI version. So the advanced ATS systems do not detect that this is a ChatGPT built system. Fine. So I'll have a few sentences from the previous thing that I have written and rest from this particular description. So here, a passionate backend developer with hands-on experience, I don't think first line should be replaced. Skilled in building efficient, scalable and optimized server-side application. So server-side application with a strong foundation in databases. Again, almost similar, and performance-driven architecture, backend architecture, similar. Fine. So this line, this particular line, eager to learn, adapt and contribute to impactful projects, this looks better. Fine. So I would write it here, and it is done. Profile summary is done. Now the second thing is the portion of skills. Fine. So what essentially you should do in skills is, first thing that you should write is programming skills, where you add your favorite language, where you add your skills that you use in problem solving. For example, here I have written Java, C++, object oriented programming, data structures and algorithms, design patterns. Alongside this, I can add a few things more here. Fine. For example, C language is one thing that you should always add, then HTML, and then CSS, and then JavaScript. Fine. So that's pretty much. I'll remove Java because Java, C++, JavaScript, everything can't be learnt at a single time. So these are programming skills that you can write, and once they are written, then in this case what you can do is you save it, and you'll have this skills framework. Now if you do not have any particular column, you want to add a particular column, you simply go to this bottom, you click on add content, and here you'll have these sections where you have skills, you have projects, you have courses, references, everything, fine. And also you can create a custom section, fine. So if you want a custom section, you simply click on custom and write the title of the section itself, fine. So this is one thing you can do. Now let's come back, let's understand what else I can do. So for the first skill that I added was programming skills. How did I add it? So what I'll do is, let's do one thing. I'll open Google Docs, fine, google.com, and on this I'll paste a few things. Also you should have this basic framework of resume always, fine. So here whatever programming skills I'm having, I'm going to paste it out so that you have a clear understanding of how to build these sections, fine. So fine, I am deleting all these skills that I have written here. That is why I am pasting all the skills on the other end, fine. So let's delete this as well. And the last one is databases, where I've written MySQL, MongoDB, PostgreSQL, and I'm going to delete this as well, fine. So fine, you do not have right now skills. What you should do is, the first particular header that you had was profile. Always you should start with profile, then go ahead and add skills section. So what I'll do is, I'll simply click here, add content, I'll add skills, and in skills I'll start creating the skills. For example, I want programming skills. Now what you can do is go to ChatGPT, use this only for the same purpose. I'm writing a prompt, you can use this prompt as it is, fine. Now you wanted to add programming skills to your resume, fine. So you are simply writing, I want to add programming skills to my resume which are relevant to the domain of a software engineer, because you will be applying for SDE profiles and full stack engineer, fine. Give the name of those skills separated by a comma. Let's see what it will do. So see, it is giving me the programming language, it is giving me the backend technologies, front end technologies. So what you can do is, you simply take whatever languages you feel are good. So for programming skills, I'll go ahead. First of all, I'll create this heading. What I'll do is, programming skills here. While adding skills, you simply write the programming skills heading here, put a colon, and then start from here. For example, if you know C++, you can add that, fine. Then you can add Java. If you know correctly about industry, you cannot learn both the languages with paramount efficiency. So I would suggest you that add only one language out of C++ or Java or Python, okay. Python still can be added with other languages, but C++ and Java में से एक ही डालना, दोनों मत डाल देना, otherwise you'll be in trouble in interview, fine. So C++, then data structures and algorithms, then I would say object oriented programming, what else, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I guess this much is enough for me in the programming skills, fine. Once I am done with this, all you need to do is, you go back to this skills portion, fine. So if I close this, this would look like this. So in the skills section, I'll add one more skill, and here again I'll put the heading where I'll be giving frameworks and tools, fine. So this helps me to concise a few headings. For example, here if you see, it is giving me different backend technologies, different front-end technologies. So in frameworks and tools I can compile this. Fine. Databases can be a separate thing, cloud can be a separate thing, DevOps can be a separate thing. Fine. So what we'll do is we'll simply add whatever frameworks and tools say I particularly feel I know and are important. So React JS, Node JS, and what else? I would say Angular. No, I don't want Angular much. Bootstrap can be one thing. Fine. Tailwind, CSS. Now that's pretty much. But once I've done with this, other thing I'll be super interested to add would be DevOps and cloud. Fine. So for this, what you can do is, in DevOps and cloud, what you can do is add Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, and that's pretty much. So you need not add everything because you're not a proper DevOps engineer. But also one thing more, CI/CD can be added if you want to. If you want to add AWS, say I'm writing AWS. If you know AWS, you can write it out. And alongside this, I would sincerely suggest you that please do add some databases, and for that MySQL, and not here, you can add here MySQL, PostgreSQL. Fine. So done, pretty much done in the skills portion. अब अगला नंबर आता है एक्सपीरियंस का, which is mostly a confusing thing for freshers. A lot of freshers are in confusion that how would we manage the experience section. I don't have any professional experience, I just have internships. Some people don't even have internships. So for them, what you can do is, first thing, for all those people who are not having any internship, please go ahead, do some internship somewhere. Fine. For all those people who have done internship, for them, what you can do is, you simply go here, fine, and you write, give me an ATS friendly description of my professional experience in pointers. My experience is given below. Fine. So for example, you were a front-end intern at some ABC Inc. So I was a front-end intern for ABC Inc. for month of January to March 2025, and what you can write is, I worked on one of their projects of, say that it was some learning management system. Fine. So of learning management system. Fine. Here if you're writing learning management system, good to go. And what all you can do is, I built some responsive frameworks. Fine. What else do I need? Responsive pages or web interfaces I can write. Fine. So whatever you've built, whatsoever, let's be more rudimentary. मैं इसको भी बहुत आसान कर देता हूँ. I'll simply remove this. I built some responsive web pages. Fine. That's pretty simple. Now make this experience look good for recruiter. Quantify it yourself. Use these terms, quantify it yourself, and alongside that add few data and figures yourself. Fine. So you put this prompt and see the magic happening. So right now ChatGPT is generating it, and very soon, yes, so it's giving you that. It is clearly giving you the proper way of using this. Fine. It is clearly giving you the proper pointers. Now if you carefully see, It has added RESTful APIs. This should also be included in skills, very important skill. Fine. So what you can do is you simply copy all these components. Fine. You copy all these pointers. You go to the professional experience. Fine. I'll create one more experience. I'll hide this out. I'll create one more experience. I'll write front end intern, and I'll say ABC Inc. was my employer. City was, say, Bengaluru, and country India. January 2025 to February, or let's say March 2025. Fine. So here I'll paste that out. Now if you carefully see, these pointers are not a lot of pointers, but you have certain set of data and figures here. 5 plus responsive web pages ensuring cross browser compatibility and mobile responsiveness. Alongside this, what you can do is, rather than this contributed or designed, what you can do is, in this place designed and built, you can simply write a very strong action verb, pioneered. For optimized, you can rather here contributed to the development of a learning management system. So it can be contributed, or else you can use developed a learning management system. For example, if you're somebody who has single-handedly done this, simply write developed a learning management system, improving user experience and interface, pioneered 5 plus responsive web pages. Now if you're an intern, you'll not be developing the whole project alone. That is a very, very common thing. So do not go ahead and boast things here. That's why I wrote developed, so that you can get a comparison. Now just think as a recruiter. If you're a recruiter and you write that developed a learning management system, the second thing that I would ask is, if you've truly done it, have you written all its features ahead in your experience? If not, it's of no use. As simple as that. Otherwise, what you can do is, you write contributed to the development here. Fine. And what you can do is, you go here and collaborated with backend developers to integrate RESTful APIs. Here what you can do is, you simply write integrated RESTful APIs, enhancing system functionality. Say it was enhanced by some 45%. Fine. By 45%, and reducing user drop rate by 11%. And I'm just making up these figures. All you need to do is, you need to figure out what exact figures were in your projects. Fine. So that's how you write things. Okay. Now you can use better action verbs, impact verbs here. Like for example, rather than worked, you can use that utilized. That can be a better word. Utilized React.js, HTML, CSS and JavaScript for implementing interactive UI components. Fine. So that's how you can write it out. So this is the way you add some points. For example, you're feeling that these 5 points aren't enough, I need more points. So all you need to do is, you write a prompt to ChatGPT, give me more pointers, alongside that make them more impactful. Fine. So I'm giving this particular prompt, and it would give you a detailed version of these pointers. Fine. Now here you got a very good matrix, increase in user engagement. So utilize React.js for implementing interactive UI components, and then here you write leading to, fine, leading to 15% increase in user engagement. Also you can write user drop rate here also, that reducing user drop rate. So that's how you add the pointers in the professional experience, and this is all being built here itself. तो अलग से word file में जाके बनाने की मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. You need not waste a lot of time of yours in word file. Fine. Now that being said, professional experience is done. Now you can add n number of professional experiences like that. For example, we also had one more experience here which I had developed earlier. So you can write experiences like this. So profile, skills, professional experience. Now you should be presenting your projects. What is the ideal way of presenting projects? First of all, go to this add content section, add a project section, which I have already added here. Fine. So for the projects section, what you can do is, for example, here it was museum ticket booking system. Fine. So I would rather say that let this project remain. We'll not delete it, but let's add a new project. Let's try adding a new project, which is a learning management system. Fine. And in subtitle, I'll write in-house project of ABC Inc. Fine. So now all you need to do is write a good description for it. You simply go to this particular website, which is ChatGPT, which we are using, and here we have already been interacting on the lines of LMS or the learning management system to the ChatGPT. Now LMS is not the only project. What you can do is, I'm showing you, you simply go to the youtube.com/prepinsta. Fine. So you land up at our page. So this is the Prep Insta page, and all you should do is you go to the videos. Fine. And here if you scroll down a bit, you'll have this video of mine, I'll show you, in which I have given you top 5 final year projects. So you can pick any project accordingly from here and use its resume description. Fine. एक तो तरीका ये है. Otherwise, if you have built some project, for example, say you have built LMS only, उसी का example ले लेते हैं, because we are talking to ChatGPT in the same reference, so it would understand it better. So what prompt I'll give is, I have built this learning management system. Give me an ATS friendly description for this project that I can add to my resume. Also put quantifications and data. Fine. Data yourself. So good to go. This prompt is good to go, and I'll wait for it, what exactly it shows to me. So again, it is showing me that there is a learning management system, and then you have pointers. Fine. Now what you should do is, you should not take all the points. सारे points ले लोगे, लगेगा खुद से नहीं लिखा है. ठीक है. So all you should do is take the first pointer, paste it here. Fine. And for designed and developed, first of all select the bullet pointers, and I would suggest you here that you simply write developed. That's it. No designed and developed. उतना fancy होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Alongside that, you can use this integrated RESTful APIs. Now if you see, the server response time, fine, is written here. ऊपर आपने efficiency लिखा है 45%, system functionality was enhanced by 45%, ऊपर लिखा है आपने. So you need to focus more that the data should be same. ज़्यादा वेरिएशन नहीं होना चाहिए. So what you should write is, for seamless data retrieval, enhancing system functionality by 45%. Fine. So this is one thing you can write, and the repetitions should generally be avoided, but 1 or 2 repetitions are allowed in resume, and you should not make any repetition more than twice. As simple as that. For example, even if you're using these words like developed, contributed, pioneered, you should use them once or twice, not more than twice. Fine. So this point is written, then you go further and you add few more points. For example, you write implemented role-based authentication. So here it would cover JWT, and it would show that you are a good backend developer. Alongside that, I would add one more point from somewhere. So this is one thing that I can add. Fine. So I'll add this up, which is saying that collaborated with backend teams to integrate real-time notification analytics, improving user retention by 15%. So ऊपर भी 15% increase था user engagement में, नीचे user retention जो है वो भी around 15% है. So this data makes sense. First of all, see that your data should make sense. Second of all, it is important for you that you understand that I'm writing a hypothetical project from ChatGPT, but you should have built some project. Because if you haven't built any project, आप फंस जाओगे इंटरव्यू में. Interview would ask you something out of that particular resume or out of that particular project, and you'll be like, what exactly he's asking? That's a big problem. And I always say it, या तो उतने स्मार्ट हो जाओ कि कैलकुलेटेड झूठ बोल पाओ. एंड इफ यू आर नॉट दैट स्मार्ट और दैट फ्लुएंट इन लाइंग, विच यू शुड नॉट बी, I would specifically suggest please be as honest as you can be and try blurting out things which make sense, which you know you have done. Fine. So the projects that you have done, please put those only, as simple as that. नहीं किए हैं, do some projects, do some good projects, as simple as that. Fine. Now, where do you find good projects? I told you these are top 5 final year projects. You can find this video. I'll make sure that the link to this video is in description box. So you go ahead, check this video out, top 5 final year projects. And this video would help you out a lot in terms to decide what project you can pick up. You build that project, and to get the ATS friendly resume description, you can watch this video. It is already given here. Fine. So that would reduce a lot of workload at your end. Now, you have added projects. For example, I don't want museum ticket booking system to be visible. I can simply shadow it out. If you want it to be visible, you can put it out. Fine. So for example, if I want to put out, great, good to go. Now, skills being done, professional experience being done, projects being done. So the major chunk of your resume is done. It is over. Then what you should do is you should add some education of yours. If you want to add education first, good. If you want to add certification first, it's up to you. But I personally prefer that I should add education. So I've written BTech, and here this is no rocket science. You add your school, you add city, country, start date, end date, and then your CGPA, and that's it. It's pretty much. Then you add intermediate, you add matriculation in the same manner. तो ये इतनी बड़ी चीज़ नहीं है. Now if you want to change their order from here, this button, these 6 dots, you can use to move them up and down. For example, if I move it upwards, intermediate would look here. Otherwise, you can go down and simply see that it is now in a proper order. So it should be in the reverse chronology, where your most recent education should be there. Same for experience. Most recent experience should be written first, then the experience after it. Fine. So in the reverse chronology, you should write things. Then comes certifications. Whatever certifications you have, you can again simply add them. If you have cleared some level, you can add that level, and you can save it out. Then if you go further, you have achievements, you have interests. If you have space left, go ahead. If you do not have space, no need to add it. As simple as that. Nobody is so much interested in your skills, your achievements. Nobody is more interested in your extracurricular activities. People are more concerned about your skills, your projects, your education. That's much. Fine. So most of them are focusing on what kind of experience you have, what skills do you possess, what projects you've built. In this project section, one more thing you should do is you can add the link to it here. Fine. So if you have a GitHub link, you simply add this link here, or even better than that, YouTube पे एक वीडियो डाल दो अपने working project की. If your project is working, just screen record it and put it with the audio annotations on YouTube and add that link to it, so that would even be more interesting for a recruiter to watch that video out. Fine. So you can add the link and you can add it out. As simple as that. For example, if I want to add the link to this video, then I would simply take the link to this video and I'll put it here. Fine. So it has been added, and now if you see, the link is available here. Fine. If you see, the link is here available. Now once it is done, you save it and it's good to go. Now you've added education, you've added certifications, you want to add interests, good enough. You don't want to add them, no worries. Fine. If the particular company asks that you should add your photograph here, do add it from this particular section, otherwise you don't need to. Then you go to customize section. If you want the layout to be like this, you can select one. You can rearrange the sections. For example, if you want professional experience above skills, you can simply add it like this. If you want skills to be first, then you can add like this. You can just move them up and down. You can change colors. I would suggest you please keep it simple. You do not need to add multiple things. I always follow this principle. Keep it simple. The best of the resumes look as dull as possible. They are not very flashy, they are not very colorful, they just have meaningful text that makes sense to a recruiter. Fine. I also recruit people here, so I see some very flashy resumes, and believe me, I really get tortured by those resumes. So I would never suggest you that you do that. No recruiter ever wants a flashy resume. We always want a resume that makes sense to the business. Fine. So for that, you can simply use black color, basic outline, no issues. Font size 10.5 to 11 pt, anything is good. If you want to keep it 11, good. If you want to keep it 10.5, still good, no issues. Line height 1.15 is good. Left right margin 14 mm enough. Top and bottom 12 mm enough, and space entries can be the second from the starting point of this particular column. Fine. Here, font is generally automatically selected, heading style can be chosen, various other customizations you can choose out. Also, what you can do is when you go to the section where skills you've added, I have added the compact and new line feature, which basically gives me the ability to put it in this way. If I want to put it in bubbles, simply add bubbles and you will have that. Fine. So I personally like this way, and this looks cleaner. This is more interesting for a person who is actually into the recruitment business. So for you, I would always suggest, please use this kind of template only, please use this kind of structure only. If you want to build in MS Word or in some other tool, good enough. I'm just showing you that I personally used to use this tool. This is not some promotion of this tool. I've not been paid by this company, but still I like the tool, and due to that I'm showing you because I personally benefited it. Fine, I got myself good jobs using this particular websites. I built resumes here. So same thing I would suggest you. And then all you should do is certifications kaise add honge, you should decide. For example, if I want them compact, I simply have them as bullet pointers. Otherwise, I can also have them as pipes. So pipe gives you this single line in between. If I want comma, simple comma would separate them. Fine. And if I want not interests, pardon, certifications, if I want comma, so comma would separate them, bubble would separate them, like this, very simple. Fine. So I would prefer grid. In grid also you can put it like this or like this or like this, as you like, as simple as that. Fine. So these are all customizations. Once it is done, all you can do is you can share this link if you want. I would not suggest you that. What you should do is you simply go to content page, you have this download button here, you click on this download button and it will prepare your resume for a while, and then the resume would be downloaded. First thing you should do is open it in a folder, and here change the name of this particular file. Fine. So I would say simply Rahul underscore resume, enough. Fine. And then when I open it up, fine, I open this PDF document, it gets opened. If you see, here is a link and this link works. So that YouTube video would automatically open up. Fine. This particular video where top 5 final year projects that we were showing is automatically linked here. Now you can add your particular video that you want, and that would help you out. Fine. If you have uploaded the video of your working project, good to go. And that's how ChatGPT would help you out to build your perfect resume. इतना अच्छा resume बनेगा that even your friends would look at it with an eye of inspiration that yes, this is actually a good thing. Recruiter would want you to recruit. Fine. So at this level, when AI is enabling so many things, you should use it. You want somewhere to humanize the sentences, go ahead, humanize it. But most of the times it suggests good sentences, so you can use it out and your perfect resume is crafted in front of you. Easy peasy job, no rocket science. And now, important cheese. If you want me to build more such videos, first thing you have to do is immediately go ahead, subscribe. Fine. बाकी बाद की वीडियो बाद में सुनना, अभी पहले subscribe पे click कर लो. Alongside that, if you want me to build more interesting videos, and on any topic that you want to hear from me, go ahead in comment section, poke me up, write it there. Fine, simple thing. Third thing, top 3 comments might find a chance to win the Prep Insta Prime subscription for free, and that's really a gold mine for freshers. So you can try that as well. Go ahead, comment, top 3 comments might stand that chance. Fine. Alongside that, जो भी अच्छा सीखा इस वीडियो में, whatever good you learned, go ahead, spread it. Fine. Irrespective of that you share the video or not. Video share करो या मत करो, knowledge जरूर share करो. To the society, pass the good knowledge that you get from this particular platform, as simple as that. Fine. As a mentor, that's my motive, that you build a very knowledgeable, a very informed society where everybody is ready to help each other. And that's my particular goal. Go ahead, spread this knowledge out, keep doing good for others. Good will come back to you. Thank you. Have a good day ahead.